Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards.
He's Captain Foley.
I threw you for a loop there. And he is Commander Cockings.
It's like your words were cloaked, and I had to send sort of a tachyon beam to uncloak them or decloak them. Yeah,
That's great. That's
yeah.
great. Yeah. Well, we're Team Trekyards. Welcome back, guys. It is time to look at another great ship
We don't prep these
from them.
intros. It's completely like it is, and we don't even know what we're going to say until we do. So that was
Anyway, yeah, we like looking at ships, as you guys know. We're
Yeah.
kind of the ship guys. But there's a lot of Star Trek universe out there to explore, both TV, novel, even though they're not really, comics, things like that. And today we're going to be looking
Yes.
at something comically amazing.
Well, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at well, I'm going to let Samuel tell us what we're looking at because he's the one that brought this one to the table. So, what are we looking at today, Samuel?
Yes, so today is comic themed. Years and years of comics, and this one actually I saw while you were in England, Destination Birmingham. We got a comic by the Eaglemoss booth, really amazing. Nelos had a front cover. I had to scroll through it because why not? And this thing was there. I was like, oh my god, we should look at this. And then I managed to find it online. I was doing a comic search. I was able to find it. So today we're looking at a Klingon bird of prey. I'm gonna say that for sure. Or at least Klingon warship, and it's in the TOS era because that's when the comic was set. But I was gonna say TOS bird of prey, but based on design, who the hell knows? So I'm just gonna say a Klingon bird of prey in this era. Maybe it's a Enterprise, Evolution, a variant, whatever. But as I said in one of my previous videos, comic designers, talented artists in their own right, clearly they create comics, but to create starships or space stations or whatever, that is a slightly different skill because we're not good at everything. This is why you hire concept artists that might design a building or a Terminator, machine or a spaceship. You hire specific people. And so often comics have these new ships, and sometimes they're just kitbashy, sometimes they're just wrongly drawn originals. This one is clearly a new design, and I really want to know what you think about this Klingon TOS probably-ish era bird of prey-esque design.
Definitely unique. I don't know if it falls within the TOS aesthetic for me, but it does seem like it's a lot smaller than the bird of prey we actually see in Star Trek 3, to be honest. Um, it is toe to toe with the Enterprise in this scene. I do remember this panel, and you can just tell by it looks like there's a torpedo launcher up top there, and just the size of the guns. It just seems like a much smaller, condensed version. Maybe a dozen officers and men like in Star Trek 3, but it has a small feel to it for sure. It still looks bird-like, so I mean it's actually got a little bit more bird influences, like a sharp, pointy beak, and the fins off the guns there seem like more like feathers or of some kind. So I mean it looks cool, but I definitely wouldn't put this in the TOS era if I just saw it randomly. If like what era was this in? I'd say probably motion picture era.
Why? Because we know what the motion picture looks like, and it's quite different. What makes it so motion picture?
I'm comparing it to things like the Terror Bird and the Bird of Prey from Star Trek 3 and things like that. I think it fits all in that grouping, for sure. We're not sure how old the Bird of Prey is in Star Trek 3, though. It could be an old TOS type design. But I don't know. From what we saw in TOS from the Klingons, they're very smooth hull textures, like with the D7s and stuff. Not quite even
Although,
Katinga.
obviously, if you include the Trials and Tribulations DS9 variant, the slight retcon there, then obviously you do add half paneling.
Yeah, but still, from a distance, it looks a little bit smoother. And this one, I don't know. I just personally would not say this was TOS.
It's a weird design. I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
But it's actually a design,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. There's been some thought put in here. Now, where would it fit on the Enterprise spectrum compared to like that bird of prey? What kind of tissue does it have to that?
It feels like it would definitely come after for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're using the Enterprise Retro Bird of Prey designed by
Yeah.
John Eves, this I could see firmly sitting right between that one and the one we see from Star Trek 3, just because there are elements here from the retro one, kind of.
Yeah. Like stylistic notes. Nothing
Yeah.
direct, actually. It's quite good at being different.
Yeah.
But it kind of has some similar...
Yeah. Yeah. So if you do that design lineage, sure. But as I was saying, for me personally, I would not say TOS just because of my headcanon, my knowledge of Star Trek. I'm comparing this to things like the Condor that we see in Starfleet battles. It's got the same kind of head shape for that. A few different things like that make it feel not only more Romulan to me, but definitely not something that should be toe to toe with the TOS Enterprise.
Okay, so my thoughts. I like a lot of this. I think it takes some interesting risks, and most of them pay off. And it's actually design, which I really like. The reason I say it fits into TOS, sort of, is because, yeah, as you say, it fits just vibe. It fits in between Enterprise and the Star Trek 3 one, just in terms of vibe. But TOS is a weird era. It's the 60s. Like, I could see them design this in the 60s and building it. Like, it's not that difficult to miniature. The big hull is weird and oversized. The back feels like a tank. It's more relatable. The guns are big and oversized with slicey. Like, this I can see the 60s designers, if they said, like, right, design a warship bird, you know what I mean? And you've got maybe a week more to build it. So they said add feathers and they put plates or they're drawn. Like, I see this could be designed, maybe not this colour, but I think this would be thought of in the 60s because it's got those weird anisms, you know?
Yeah. I do like the idea that you said that the back is designed like a tank because it looks like there's extra added thick armor plating over the sensitive spots.
Yeah,
That aren't there in Star Trek 3. That being said, this one doesn't look like the wings articulate at all. It looks like a very fixed wing ship for sure. There is another shot of it, kind of poorly drawn, but that's okay. Where the wings have more of a Norexan kind of shape and feel to them. Again, more Romulan-esque, but yeah, I do like the tank idea. This could be just like a heavily armed scout ship or something, because again, it doesn't seem very big to me.
No, it really
Like
doesn't.
what? Okay, you get the same feeling then for scale.
Oh yeah, if we jump to the picture that compares, because I might as well do the comparison. The Bird of Prey also isn't small. It's got no visible windows really.
Yeah.
This one has a similar no window vibe. Yeah, I would sense it was the same size or smaller. I like the idea that the head's so small you can't fit a torpedo launcher in it. Heads are put on the back. And the only reason I say tank is because in my Stormbird for the Romulan War fan film, that's what the aft weapon is. It's a big torpedo launcher because the front weapon is a big disruptor cannon. So the back is a torpedo. And I thought, well, that makes sense. Visually, it's a tank. People understand. But I could see this being a fast firing, like always mechanicalness. I mean, torpedoes you can do a lot of damage, often more than a phaser blast. And imagine if this can fire 3 times as fast as the Burrell, then even if it's smaller, it might theoretically have more punch. Even if the shields are less strong, the pure punch value could be a lot more. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why I see this being.
Yeah.
So now, what do you think, seeing them side by side?
Very, very similar. It's actually creepy.
Well, it was designed.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this one does feel more armor plated because you look at the part where the wings articulate and has got those thin fins.
Yeah.
It almost seems like that would be a place to definitely focus your fire because you're going to cause a lot of damage regardless. Yeah. Whereas this one's kind of taken that out of the equation. A, it probably doesn't have the articulating wings, and B, it's got that engineering hull well shielded from the front at least. We can't see it from the back, obviously.
Yeah.
But it does look like there's definitely heavy armor applied there. So, I mean, it's more of a frontline war like variant, I guess. Designed to be taking on the enemy. As opposed to maybe something that's more, within or Klingon space. So,
Yeah, I can see it being kind of the fighter variant. In as much as the Burrell is a scout, this is a little bit smaller, more about, you could call the fighter of the fleet, the light warship. Because I mean, those guns proportionally are huge compared to the ship. So you imagine the dedicated Vavavoom, and I can imagine the torpedo launcher again. Quick fire. All you need is this bridge area, a single corridor, and then, And yeah, I love the plating. I think that's a really nice choice. And the fact that greebling is exposed is a nice choice. It gives it kind of that's almost rushed out as well. Like the KDF is not scrounging for ships, but they got to make ships. They got to get out. Although my what I really don't like is the head. I think the head lets it down a ton. I don't understand it. I don't think it looks good. It looks generic. I don't know. What do you think?
Like I said, I kind of like the the head in relation to the bird of prey vibe. You got the feather look. You also have that beak-like appearance, and also like a comb, or whatever, feather plumage on the head.
Plumage,
It's got that look to it. So it does kind of carry over that bird's vibe to this bird of prey or something. Literally, raptor,
It just doesn't make sense to me. I like the aesthetic thing you're saying, but the double bump, what's that trying to be,
I don't know, but it also looks like it has eyes there too, with those rectangular. So you definitely get that kind of feel from it. And again, I'm comparing it to some Romulan designs we've seen in Starfleet Battles and FASA, where it's got that similar kind of head shape. So that's why I'm really getting a Romulan vibe. I'm trying not to say that because we don't want to start the whole Klingon Romulan debate again. But
I think the head definitely more Romulan, despite obviously the Romulans having very organic shapes, obviously until TNG, but whatever. I think the head is turning more of that. But I like the fact it hasn't got a cloak ring. I can like the, not everything needs to be a scout. Because, the amount of power required for cloak takes up a lot of stuff. So if you don't need that, if that is not an option, you're going to be far more shooty. And it's funny that we've commented about the lack of common sense of the cleave ship from Discovery. And in fact, seeing it in the show, it's very ill-fitted. Yes, it can do one or two maneuvers, and then it's just like a big target of death, as in their own death. It's just a stupid idea. But this having the big slicey things, it looks pure aesthetic to me. You know what I mean? They aren't functional slices, but they're just like, you know what? Yeah, because the plumage isn't necessarily. It's like, why paint the red on the bottom? It's not a functional reason, is it? It's aesthetic. So I kind of like the. Although I think in reality they'd be slightly less. Like the right hand side one looks as if it comes up almost the top of the wing. The left hand side looks much more subtle. I would like to envision it's a more subtle approach, just a bit of a slice up, rather than like a massive blade. And what's your take on the slicey?
The slicey looking parts at the engineering hull are nice armor. As far as the ones on the back of the guns, they look silly. But with the size of those guns, let's say they're upscaled. Let's say this isn't a small ship. Let's say it's a larger ship, and those are like plasma cannons as opposed to like disruptor cannons or something. So they're bigger. They probably generate a lot of heat. Maybe those fins at the back are cooling fins when after the gun gets fired or something.
Yeah.
So maybe not just for aesthetic purposes, maybe a practical reason to dissipate the heat, over a wider surface area. It's kind of the vibe that I get if you're going to look for practical reasons for them. That's why I love comics. I love seeing the weird stuff that they throw in there. Because usually it's like one frame, from a distance, and it's like, nobody will care. We just got to draw a ship. Just do something. Well, we notice, guys. We notice.
I think this one definitely deserved more views. And I did look through the thing, none. But maybe if some brave CG model out there wants to make it, flesh it out a bit, I think this could easily turn to a real practical thing.
Mm-hmm. There seems to be a weird thing at the bottom, though, which when you see the picture from the side, it again looks like it extends down really far because the positioning of it's off. But
as having now designed a bird of prey, my bird of prey has similar pieces because they're on the Klingon Raptor and on the so there are elements that I agree they're a bit far, but there also might be landing leg elements. There are things you sleek them out a little bit. My version has pieces of a similar ilk, so yeah, hard to complain there because I put them in myself. But yeah, all right. Tick. I like it.
All right, guys. So what do you guys think of this design? Do you think it fits TOS era? Do you think it's, looks more Romulan? Let us know in the comments down below. And just let us know your thoughts overall. We love hearing from you guys, and, please comment below. And to make sure you don't miss anything, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the notification icon, and be sure to hit like, because hitting like lets us know that you want to see more content like this, and it also lets YouTube know that you're enjoying our content. So it's all very helpful, and it's a quick and easy way to help the channel.
Yeah. Or, wait, what did you say?
Like, subscribe, and I just did my normal thing.
And of course, Patreon, super important. It helps out the show every single month, week, year. In essence, we're in 5 years now, but we cannot have done it without Patreon support. And there's new things coming to Patreon every single month, so please do check that out. Exclusives, yay! Or one-time donation at Trekyards.com, because if we don't get the financial support from the fan, the show might go away, and we have always more ships to look at. So support if you can, a little bit makes a difference. Or join our community chats every single week via YouTube, and you can super chat, get a comment question heard. Super good way of being part of the conversation, having fun, and you get to talk to us because you really can. That's right. Thanks in advance.
So until next time, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Kongs.
And we'll see you in the future. Kapla!
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.